Hello everybody, this is Tattoo Girl 07. We're here at a game called Midnight Witches. This is that you are an average student. Your life changes very dramatic into like a horror as a mystery witch takes over the college, and you're thinking about how you could save the girl that you love, or if you can even make it out alive. This has multiple endings. It's a dating sim. Your choices do matter that you pick in here. There was a thing that popped up saying, please be advised, a warning saying there might be some stuff that will irritated you or piss you off or something like that. So I advise you be concerned about watching it. Like, there might be people like pissing you off, what they say. Just be advised, okay? Let's get to the game. Start. What is your name again? No. That's it. Oops, my caps are on. That's a lovely name. Oh, thank you. I love it too. So long. Love it. Oh. Hey, Tatsu, move. My neurons are very slowly kicking in like a rusty machine, getting graced by Mororo. Oh, my English is not good today. Huh? I look up with still sleepy eyes towards the origin of this present morning. Greetings. I notice Dan's cocky grin. Wes, his loyal minion, is standing right next to him. You're really not a morning person. You're even worse than me. I feel like I've been jolted awake from a particular heavy sleep. Oh, like every night I didn't go to bed until I had exhausted all my distraction available to a broke student. A well-rounded mix of TV shows, video games, and procrastination on social media. That sounds like me. Hey, we might be related. And like every morning, I promise myself to get to bed as soon as I get home. I'll say the same thing. Suddenly I feel a hand on my shoulder that abruptly pulls me out of my daydream. Man, you're really out of it today. No, I just want what exactly unable to finish my sentence. I gently massage my aching temple. You were with Emma, right? It's been what, 6 years? What? No, it's only been 2? 2 years. Now that's a long-term relationship. Come on. You must have hit 2 years a commutative relationship long ago, but with more than 10 girls. You up there. Hey, I'm just looking for a perfect girl. Bullshit. Sound like my hole's been. I answered with a particularly loud yawn. Yeah, if you say so. But what the hell are you doing at school this early? I'm a new man, bro. Time for a quick smoke, and then I'm gonna be sitting on the front row. Wes burst out laughing, revealing a perfect line with little pointy teeth. What about you? Have you decided to rebuild your life too? Wes' smile suddenly faded and his face turned pale. Well, he's not really a model of self-confidence. Did you? Did you not hear? We have a new professor this morning. His sentence hanged in the air. So what? You don't get it, Tatsu. This new professor, I hear she's absolutely... Tatsu! A familiar voice, soft and melodious, reaches my ear. Emma stands right behind us looking puzzled. Guys, Why are you blocking the entrance? Dan slaps me in the back, nearly knocking the wind out of me. Look, here's your sweetheart. Just as Dan suddenly gets closer to Emma and puts a shy arm around her shoulder. Hey Emma, you okay? Emma smiles at me and places a light kiss on my lip, which has a way of triggering a small wave of heat that radiates down my belly. I'm not really the romantic type, but this girl has brought out the feeling in me that were totally unknown to me. Previously totally unknown to me. Dan was telling me about the new professor we're having this morning, apparently. Emma looks at me with a surprised expression. Oh, right! You heard it too! I remain slightly puzzled. Is this such big news? A new professor? A normal answer, at least. Look, kid, it's time to go take a smoke outside and talk about a topic of utmost importance. He turns abruptly to West. Go get seats at the back for us. I want to sleep peacefully, and as soon as the new professor starts sprouting out her lecture, with a shifting look on his face, West nods and quickly leaves for the auditorium. With my arm still around Emma, I follow Dan to the park without any enthusiasm. What is it with everyone and this new professor? Is it someone famous? Yeah, she's probably the weeds. The autumn breeze made Emma's shoulders shiver, and she decided to cling to my arm a little tighter, in hopes of drawing some warmth from it. Goofy smiles quickly fades as I become aware of Dan's condescending look. I didn't know you were a hopeless romantic, Tatsu. Yeah, I get it. You are not familiar with this kind of contact. I'm looking for the right person, too. I mean, if Jessica decided to be one day too, who knows? After all, I would just need a stroke to fall into your arms. I turn my head to a newcomer, Jessica, the most popular girl in class. The sunlight fades over her incredible long hair. Many heads turn when she walks around the campus. I don't think she has many female friends. I feel Emma's fingers tighten on my arm and notice a slightly uneasy look on her face. She and Jessica don't really get along very well, to say the least. Jessica, I was just waiting for you to come and brighten up this dreary morning. Don't even dream about it, Dan. Dan bursts out laughing. The two of them actually get along pretty well. I don't think there's any hint of romance between them, but who knows? Anyways, what about this new professor? Why is so interested about her? Yeah, I feel like she's all anyone that talks about. Is this really a big thing? A new professor? Just what am I thinking? Finally, just what I was thinking. Emma speaks up in an unusual, excited voice. I heard she graduated top in her class last year. She was so good that the university agreed to hire her as an assistant professor, even though she's barely older than us. Jessica glares at Emma with a contemplation look. She's probably your spirit animal, right, Miss Perfect? Emma cowers on herself as if she's been slapped. I have to step in. Hey Jessica, I know your grass-based diet must have been such a pain on a daily basis, but you don't need to lash out into others. Jessica strides toward me in a way that both graceful and intimidating. Her naughty air, amber eyes seem compatible of setting the surrounding air ablaze at any moment. I might have gone a bit too far. We're all happy to know that your underwear still sits right next to Miss Perfect's bed 3 times a week, but you really need to get your feet back on the ground. Sorry, my lady. This girl is scary. I wonder who would be crazy enough to chase after her. Chill, Jess. You know Tatsu is the white knight type, just defending his damsel in distress. There's no damsel in distress that would be better off thrown to the dragon. Unusual silence sets in. I don't understand the anonymity between Jessica and Emma. Unfortunately, Dan often managed to diffuse the tension. He got a real gift for that. His hands brushes Jessica's shoulder and she immediately turns her animosity to the new threat. Jessica, you don't understand. This new professor, apparently, she's absolutely gorgeous. Jessica raises a naughty eyebrow. What? She wears her miniskirt and plumbing cleavage, and that's enough to tackle your Y chromosome? Dude, my poor Dan. I thought you were not that stupid. Dan shakes his head and condescending smile on his lip. You don't understand. I've never gotten so much Hey, dude, please, with the words. Feedback on a girl. I'm sorry, people. I go patch things. It's like this. It's like she's everyone's first choice. Dithyrambic. Dithyrambic. I'm sorry. Don't use big words you don't understand. Yeah, me too. I said the same thing. Is it to impress this famous professor? The famous professor. Jessica rolled her eyes with a sigh. Dan, you're really a complete idiot. Jessica gives Emma one last condescension look and then heads towards the main building. That's it. I think it's time to go. Emma takes my hand and heads towards the building as well. I follow her from my feet dragging. This class is way too early in the morning. Dum, dum, dum. 9 o'clock. I walk into the half-empty auditorium with Emma still holding my hand. Looks like not everyone is planned to attend this morning lecture. Let's sit over there. As usual, Emma sits at one of the top middle rows at the very reasonable distance from the board. How long does this class last again? 3 hours, I think? I stare at her unblinkingly for far too long to hide my dismay. Over the whole week? A small crystal charm laugh escaped Emma's thin lip as she quickly kisses me. Stop being so silly. Social studies is one of my favorite subjects. Yeah, me too. One of my favorites to skip. Amen. Emma grabs my arm with a particular adorable expression. Tatsu, I love you. I love you too, Emma. You know that already. Yeah, but I love you when you say it. A duet of identical voices rise behind me. Emma! Emma! Cleo, Zoe, the twins. Whoa! I quickly stepped aside to let the double hair tornado pass by me and rushed to Emma. You'll never guess what we saw making out on the way here. I still can't believe it. What? No way. Yes. Yes. With an exasperating sigh, I turn away and take out my laptop. I scan across the classroom that is slowly filled up around me. Some people clearly decided to stay in their bed this morning, but from the looks of it, there's still a good 30 or so students who bothered to show up. Not bad for a morning class. I glanced at Emma, who was still absorbed in this tense exchange of gossip with the twins. Out of the corner of my eye, I see Dan staring at me from the back row. This new professor must really be special for him to show up this early in the morning. An amber glint catches my eye. It was only Jessica, who just sat a little behind me in the back row. It's a very reasonable distance from Dan, though. Wes is giving her a side away. I feel like Wes is like a girl. I don't know. He's cute. Yeah, sorry. Hey, I'm sorry, guys. That argument over. I work early. I'm sorry, guys. It's now in the afternoon. Is that why he's always with Dan? In the hopes of getting closer to Jessica? Mm-hmm. My face naturally break into a smile as I open the latest notes on my laptop. Social science. Files contains about 10 particular short sentence, and a few words highlight in bold. Yep, that's it. Let's say that I'm desperately relying on Emma's notes. When are the midterms? Again, a slightly nudge pulled me out of my thoughts. Tatsu, look! She's not the only one who looks stunned. It seems like the whole class is hypnotized by what? Exactly. My eyes swerved towards the front of the class. A newcomer is sitting on the lecture desk in the most natural way. All eyes linger on her fine, even feature, her bewitching smile, her jet black hair casual down her shoulder, let alone her eyes. Eyes as once dark, sparkling, intimidating, an impossible night blue gem. Glam? I was thinking gem. Glam dances in her gaze. The regular professor's loud voice raises sharply, but only partly breaks the spell that is memorizing the whole class. Listen, this is Miss... Please call me Evelyn. Oh my goodness. That's my aunt's name, and I couldn't even say it. Evelyn. The playful tone emphasized the bubbly, imperfectly controlled side of her voice. Oh, you bad boy. Evelyn is the new assistant, and she'll be teaching most of my class next semester. I'm counting on you to stay serious and focused. A few whispers raised from the back row. That's the dream job. You hire some assistant, and you didn't even do shit. How do you become a professor? Please quiet in the back. Good. I count on you to welcome Evelyn and show her the full extent of your compatibility. For those who have any. The professor punctuates his last remark with a glance in the direction of Dan, who grins with all his teeth. I wish you all a good day, and good luck to you, Evelyn. The sound of the door slamming shut tells me that the professor has left the room. It was only Evelyn and us now. Hello, everyone. Good morning, madam. Hey. The collective murmurs rises from the row of the room to greet to the new arrival. Like I said, you can call me Evelyn, but please don't call me madam. I'm barely older than you. A light laughter escapes her lips and echoes off the large walls of the auditorium. I graduated last year, so I was a student like you, not till very recently. I hope we can bond to learn better together. I am still very new to this job, so I'm counting on you and your goodwill. The muffled echo of a male's voice erupted from the four corners of the auditorium. Of course! You can count on us, Professor Evelyn. If you need help, let me know. Her amused eyes roamed the auditorium and scrupulously probed each one. The room looks a little empty to me, but I think all the important people are here. What? Is this a subtle way of saying she's going to take attendance for a morning lecture? That would be unheard of. Evelyn comes down from a lecture desk with a small, light hop. Well, I think it's time for us to start the class. And just to start with the right foot, by the way, what class am I supposed to teach you? Even Emma is a little speechless. No one expected her to say that. Evelyn seems to reveal in everyone's surprise. This is social studies class. A large smile appeared on Evelyn's face. Social studies, wonderful. That's my favorite subject. Just like Emma. The new Professor Glace finally surveils to me. You, handsome. What's your name? Why does the question always come to me regardless of the professor? I'm Tatsu, Madam Evelyn. Tatsu, could you please tell me where you were in the course? I absolutely have no idea. Looking completely clueless, I gave Emma a puppy-like dog look. She sighed at my utter dismay and glared back at me with an angry look. What was she expecting? That I would be up to date with the course? I've given up on taking this class seriously for a long time. Reassigned Emma whispered to the answer in my ear. I don't understand a word she's saying, but I repeat every syllable in a very rough voice. We are studying correspondence sociological, scientology, Evelyn quickly claps her hands and looks visibly excited. The analyze of the social world, fantastic. Social relationships, like domination, power, and differentiation. I nod without understanding a word she just said. I really need to start studying for real, or else Emma's gonna be yelling at me again. Her look cold confirms my fear. She looked quite upset. Sorry. Thanks, Emma, for helping me. Perfect. Let's start class. I'm counting on all of you to behave. This is more of a reading. I think most of my games are kind of like that. Emma was right. Evelyn is quite brilliant. Despite her visible lack of preparations for this specific class, she has been talking about comprehension sociology for over 5 minutes, with particular insight and sense of experience. Given my insane lack of knowledge in social science, I am unable to say if what she says is actually relevant, whatever. But she definitely sounds very convincing. Wait, isn't that Dr. Fox's effort? Seems like I actually learned a thing or two about sociology over the years. I took a look at the other students. Most of them behave exactly like usual. At least one I know. Emma takes perfect organization notes on her pink laptop. Zoe, though, is having a quick manicure. Her little nail polish jar steadily rests on her right knee. And Cleo tries to put all her means to catch the eye of the guy sitting a few rows down, without much sense of success so far. As Jessica, she's staring at the laptop screen far too intensely to be actually paying attention to class. What about me? No point in lying, I haven't taken a single note. A nudge on the elbow pulls me out of my daydream. I'm listening. I was listening, I swear. Emma looked at me wearily, then finally smiles. Very funny, but take notes. Class starts 5 minutes ago. With a sigh, I place my hand on the keyboard and start writing a few keywords from Emma's notes. Hey, do you guys have internet? Emma and I turn into the student sitting a bit further into my right. I haven't tried yet. Why? I can't connect to Wi-Fi. A new whisper behind me this time. Wi-Fi is down. They must have changed the password last night. Only the school intranet works. The university intranet, great. Aside from fascinating articles about the discovery of electricity and the biology of college dean, this thing is as empty as my fridge on weekends. Hey, log on to the intranet chat. Everybody's trolling. I mean, with social networks and mobile phones, this kind of thing is literally useless. But now, since we don't have the actual internet anymore, I find the address in a few clicks and manage to log into the chat room. The messages are flooding. I open a small tab listed to the people logged in. There are almost 30 people. Pink lady. Seriously, nobody can crack the new Wi-Fi password? Sucks so much. That's so fucking bored. When did they even change it? It was working just fine yesterday. Why so serious? I got no signal on my phone. Why so serious? Oh, yeah, I don't even have a single either. Wait. They're the same people. Just me. Nobody can get any single in the sanatorium. It's always been like this. So fucking bored. But why? Where's the wizard? I know who that is. This auditorium was built in a new material that are more insulating, and but that's also prevent any mobile signal. I do you. Mom. Get the fuck off. Valshore, shut up! I'm saying something interesting. What's so serious? So we'll never get any signal in this room? Who's West the wizard? I'm going through impression numbers of insults, message, and pure floods. It's insane how an online chat can become a garbage can in no time. We will eventually thanks to the deep indoor technology that allows signals to pass through very thick walls, but it's expensive for mobile network operators to install. How do you know all this? It's Wes, Dan's friend. His mom works in a telecom operator, so he knows a lot about this stuff. Shut the S2FU. Shut the fuck up. With the chat being anonymous, it's just so easy to troll. Welcome to that absurdity of online chatting. Glance over, I'm still focusing on the notes that now fill an entire page. Has Evelyn talked that much already? I feel an inside look on my face. She hates it when I slack off and look up at Evelyn again. I found this most magical blush glow dancing in her dark eyes. I stiffen slightly as Emma's hand shakes my shoulders. Take notes! Hurry up! I stiffen a yawn and look down at the clock. Morning break won't happen at any time soon. We're done with this chapter. I hope it wasn't too boring. Unusual rising tide of voice spreads through the rows. That was perfect, Evelyn. Keep talking, please. Could you please repeat the last part? Thank you all. You are so kind. But I've talked too much. Now it's the question time. What do you mean, question? Wait, I didn't pay any attention. Who can tell me what Barnum effect is? Barnum effective? A few hands went up, including Emma's and Dan's. You, next to Tatsu. Emma straightened up slightly in her chair. It's a principle using the personality test or horoscope. People who are flattered by speech that valorizes them, which leads them to find an accurate comment about their own personality relevant. Evelyn quickly claps both hands. Excellent! That's exactly right. What's your name? Emma hesitated for a moment, surprised by this teacher's unusual familiarity with her students. Emma? That's perfect, Emma! Read any personality test. You will always find in a subtle mix of flattery in the statements generate enough to fix the majority. Once convinced that the test results present, who are you? And you would become more like to accept completely false statements but your own personality. This is the power of Barnum effect. Evelyn, you are the best professor in this world. Evelyn burst into a crystalline smile. Sorry, but flattery needs at least a little bit more subtlety. Otherwise, it doesn't work. Let's see. Who can tell me about the bystander's effect? It's classic that you already faced in real life. Hands up, goes up again. No. It's always the same people answering. I'll pick someone this time. She moves slowly across the stage to search for her prey. One hand brushes the desk as the other one continues to walk. You, over there, what's your name? Lucas, ma'am. Evelyn. The guy named Lucas I probably talked to him twice in my life, and casually sitting in the obvious attempt to appear cool and relaxed. So Lucas, do you know what the bystander effect is? Lucas' smile widens. It's when you are a bystander to a significant event that you are able to replicate afterwards with accuracy. For example, I was able to date very talented girls. As a result, now I can pull off some amazing tricks. He concludes his answers with a wink that he probably believes to be the most charming in words. It was a dorky, vulgar, and probably off topic. What a douche. You bet. He'll be lucky if he gets kicked out of class. To my surprise, Evan can use a smile is a perfectly natural way. It does not surprise me. After all, you look like you belong to the gifted type. It's up to you to find out. Evan's smiles widen. Oh, but I already know better than anyone. Huh? Unfortunately, that wasn't the right answer. Wait, what? A blinding flash of light fills the entire room for a split second, immediately followed by a dull crack. My eyes attentively closed at this suddenly light result. The classroom is now dead silent. What? Did you see that? When I finally managed to open my eyes for good, I found myself facing a vision of horror. Oh. Evelyn is elegantly sitting on the table right in front of Lucas, smiling. Terrifying. In front of her, Lucas stared glazed at the long blue spear that crosses his chest. There is blood absolutely everywhere. His eyes widen. Lucas tries to accurately articulate some words, but only bubbles of blood splur from his lips and splash a little more. He's completely soiled his clothes. The blue spear seemed to glow with the supernatural and devious gleam as it emanated by a will of its own. Evelyn's eyes keeps her rivet on Lucas' face, whose life is rapidly slipping away. It feels like time froze for eternity. My brain, unable to process the image I am witnessing, can no longer reason rationally. Shit! Lucas is covered in blood. Evelyn? A magic spear? I'm dreaming. A nightmare. That's impossible. I barely managed to hear the scream that tears through the surrounding silence. The scream. Help! Run! The paralysis that had gripped the entire room disappeared. All at once, as if by magic. A very large panic began, with half of the students taking cover under the table while the other half rushes to the door. Door located on the other end of the room from the seat. Fuck! Emma turns to me, her face vivid. Without thinking, I pulled her against me and tipped backwards so our body was under the table. The protection is probably symbiotic, but what more can I do? While my brain is screaming to me to think of a way to get into the door, my gaze goes back to Evelyn. Still smiling, she gently caresses the handle of the spear, without seeming to least disturbed by the agitation around her. Her medallion grows with the pulse of this magic spear, which seems to be absorbing the life of her unfortunate victim. It seems that Lucas is living his last moment. His face becomes more and more vivid with each passing second, and his eyes take on a gray color specific to the dead corpse. A frightful nausea invades me. I pull Emma a little tighter against me and force her head to turn towards my chest in a futile attempt to spare her with this macabre vision. In spite of the ambient rush, a new thrill scream, followed by a pastoral order, invades the room that silenced all of the other noises. As I try to find a proper vision angle without exposing myself unnecessarily, imagine to see a flaming mass collapsing on the floor, just in front of the door. Don't tell me. Another student? No! The door is a trap! The students amassed near the door are all caught up in a panic. A tremendous stampede ensures the crowd divided by the desire to get as far as possible from the two corpses, that Lucas and another unfortunate soul who was burned alive. Evelyn's bubbly voice raises from the center stage as if she had teleported again from the back row where Lucas' corpse still lies. Excuse me. No. This class is not over. At those words, all the students froze, and a new icy silence invaded the room. Evelyn's sharp smile lights up with her face, which strangely no longer bears any trace of Lucas's blood. If you don't hurry back to your seat, I will have to punish you too. After a few interminable seconds, the message finally sunk in. Clear as blood. Punishment. Death. New panic sets in. Most of the students rush to the relative safety on the table, while a handful remain motionless near the door, totally paralyzed by fear. Evelyn gazes at the death two inmates with a delighted expression. Oh, bad students. One of the three students, still standing of fate, her face maddens. The second lays her eyes on a total charred corpse, then bends over to vomit profusely. The third, his limbs shakes all over, seems to have completely lost control of his own body. Evelyn slowly approaches the door, and her eyes riveted on the two girls on the ground. Poor things. She fainted. What kind of teacher would be if I punish a student with anemia? Her lighthearted smile is totally contrast to the seriousness of the situation. As for her, Evelyn takes a small step to the side to avoid a puddle of vomit. I'm sorry, but eating in class is permitted. That's how you mess up the room. With the enchanted gesture, she extended two fingers under directions to the unfortunate girl still on her knee, and agitated by a sorderic wrench. Bam! A new flash of light, blue this time. The student collapsed, totally on her vomit in a big spray of blood. Oh my! Look how dirty she is. I hate dirty people. The last student, still standing, tries to move away, but his legs seem to no longer obey his movement, intimidated by his hips. He managed to lean against the wall to avoid falling. Evelyn raises her eye full of malice in his direction. Why aren't you sitting in your seat? The class has started already, right? Unfortunately, the guy opens his mouth with the fish out of his water and painfully manages to squeeze a few words. I is not a valid answer. Sorry. Evelyn gives him a ravening look wink, then quickly waves her left hand in his left hand. A new flash of light followed by a dull crackling sound. A long blue spear, identical to the one that pierced Lucas, goes through the student's chest and literally pins him against the wall. Contrary to Lucas, death must have been instantaneously. The student does not emit any rattle, and his inverted head falls to the ground to one side in frighteningly angle. Looking satisfied, Evelyn quickly contemplates her work and then returns to the desk while clapping her hands. Well, I guess now we can resume class. She runs her delicate hands through her hair. I think I was just asking you some questions. All right, just a few more questions and we'll start a new chapter. Let's see. Evelyn sweeps the room with her eyes. Oops. It's not what I mean. I'm sorry. My mouse was on the bottom. Evelyn sweeps the room with her eyes. All the students have taken shelter under the table, but just like Emma and me, a perfectly useless shelter, as much as the underside of a table is visible from abroad. It's going to be difficult for you to take notes, crouching like that on the floor. Despite her enchanting smile, an evil glint gleams in her eyes as she opens her mouth again. If you don't take notes, I'll have to consider your absence. The signal is clear. Obey or die. The student slowly stands up and recularly sits back in their recuculate. I'm sorry, guys. I'm bad at reading. Sits back to their seats in the dead silence. Those are the words I don't use. Despite my heart beating way too fast, I take the risk of standing up as well, Emma still in my arms. My will is close to breaking when Emma raises her big doe eyes to fill me with tears. Emma, trust me. My voice is only whispered, but she nods and lets her arm glide her. I sat her back down in the seat right next to mine and then sat down as well. Her morbidly vivid face doesn't let me forget that nausea roaming deep in my gut. This is nightmare. Pure nightmare. I slowly turn my head towards Evelyn, praying not to meet her eyes. With a big smile on her face, she is making sure that everyone is seated properly. A particularly sickening smell of burnt flesh finally reaches my nostril. I glanced at the black carcass laying on the floor near the door. Just imagining that it is the corpse of another human being, making me want to regurgitate the contents in my stomach. No way. Magic doesn't exist. This is no such thing. There is no such thing as a teacher killing students in a classroom. Not in my life. Not in my very average, very basic student life. That's impossible. Emma's small hand squeezes mine. Despite her shaking, the touch of her soft skin managed to calm my emotions slightly. Enough to bring me back to sense. I need to be rational, control my emotions, and survive. We must survive. Evelyn can kill us in the blink of an eye. She's using magic, or some superpower weapon from the future, or whatever. It doesn't matter. The facts are simple. We are totally powerless against it. So we have to trick it to understand her motive, the rules that underline her morbid game. Turn them against her, like in the video games. I close my eyes to try to concentrate more without success. Don't be an idiot. This is not a video game. There are no rules, no solutions, no escape. I open my eyes again and meet Evelyn's gaze. My blood turns through my veins. My blood runs through my veins. Did she just wink at me? Her attention immediately shifts to the other side of the room, but an uneasy feeling persists. Am I next? My swallowing becomes very difficult, as if my throat has become totally knotted. I'm going to die. Like Lucas. Like the others. We're all gonna die. My eyes freeze on the floor to the room. The only way we can escape. The only way we can survive. A door. Trapped. The door that condemned. The one who puts his hands on it to die by fire. My breath is getting shorter and shorter as I crawl up slightly in my seat. We can't get out it anymore. We're trapped. Condemned. Is everyone seated? Good. Let's get back to the questions. I have a feeling you're not in a very talkative mood, so I'll guess I'll have to pick someone again. Ooh. Evelyn slowly ascends the central staircase. Her hands gently brushes the surface of the table as she moves. The student closest to her passage cower in vain, hoping to become invincible, all the while avoiding moving too much as to not attract the attention to our tormentor. As Evelyn passes by our row, Emma leans slightly towards me to get as far away from her as possible. A look of terror on her face. I force my gaze to stay focused in front of me despite the fear of being hit by a magical projectile from the stairs to my right. A barely audible sigh of relief escapes my lips as I hear Evelyn's footsteps move away from us. She stops a few rows up before her hands pass the table and on the unlucky row with an impatient look. Tell me, what's your name? Slowly and carefully I turn my head to catch the glimpse of the unfortunate victim, out of the corner of my eye, sitting just a row away from Dan. The guy. It's Matt, Zoe's ex. His usually self-confidence seems to have completely disappeared. Head straight up, empty eyes. He is unable to meet the glance of Evelyn, nor even to answer the question asked. Matt let out a slight cry when Evelyn starts to move, convinced out of his imminent death. To my surprise, she simply sat down to the seat next to him and leans her face towards him. Matt keeps his head turned towards the wall as he is paralyzed by fear. I can't help but feel the concerned, cowardly relief. Matt is next on the list, not me. Poor guy. But it's not me. You won't even tell me your name? That's too bad. Matt's voice is barely audible. Matt. Evelyn smiles delightedly. Well, Matt, thanks for being a volunteer. Matt swallows, as if he was a volunteer. She picked him herself. A little microzoology question regarding the family. Evelyn's smiles, which initially seems warm to me, now appears purely cruel. When a couple is expecting a child, who should make the decision? Matt managed to omit an answer, which is already a great feat considering the perilous situation he finds himself in. The mother. Evelyn raises an eyebrow. Only the mother? That's interesting. The entire class holds its breath. But does that mean that the father has no say in it, ever? Face dripping with sweat, Matt answers surprisingly firm voice. Both, it's both. Ah, both. That's very interesting. Evelyn's smile grows more and more crooked. But you can't change your answer afterwards. It's like cheating. Matt abruptly turns to Evelyn, prematurely panic in his eyes. Wait, Splash. A short dagger endowed with Kabbalistic engraved springs from Evelyn's outreached hand and comes crashing down on Matt's throat with a particular sickening sound. Later helplessly bring his hands to his throat, blood splurting out everywhere. He ends up collapsing against the table in a frightful rattle. Evelyn contemplates her macabre work with satisfying air. Her mandolin sparkles of blue supernatural glitters. I'm not gonna scream for you guys. No! A few howls echoes through the room. I squeeze Emma's hands tightly, hoping that she will manage to suppress any sound. The last thing we need right now is to attract Evelyn's attention. I think we can stop the questions part now. Her perky look is perfectly surreal, considering the murder she just committed in cold blood. This woman is evil. A witch. She's a witch. Powerful and cruel. I hope you'll listen more carefully from now on. Otherwise, you'll keep giving me the wrong answers. Evelyn quickly walks back down the stairs towards the board and turns back to the class. I expect you all to take notes seriously. I can't believe it. Is she going to assume class? Like nothing happened? Now, let's talk about microbiology. Without the slightest regard to the various corpses littering in the room, Evelyn begins to recite the Scientology lecture before the simulation, frightened and bewildered eyes of the still living students. I feel like you are completely asleep this morning. Come on, take notes. All the students are now aware that each of her recommendation carries with it a threat of imminent death. As a result, I hear numbers of hands timidly tapping on the keyboard, beginning with Emma's. On those faces I read deep terror. With a plead look, she tells me to animate her to avoid witch wrath. The witch who killed Lucas. What about the other ones? Why do you have to always say that? And Matt. And the one who's probably killed us all by the end of the day. With trembling hands, I barely managed to unlock my laptop. A chat window appeared before me, flooded with new messages. She uses magic. This is a nightmare. I'm having a nightmare. I just woke up and I'm in a nightmare. We're all in the nightmare. There is no such thing as magic. That's impossible. She's a witch. She could kill us all in with one look. I still can't get a signal. Someone call 911. We still don't have internet. It's because of her. It's her magic. We're all gonna die. She killed Matt. I'm about to throw up, but she'll kill me if she hears me. We will kill her if we all do it together. Who's with me? We're all gonna die, idiot. She uses magic. We can't do anything. I don't want to die. Please save me. Please, please. Focus. There's gonna be a way out of this. Yeah, let's go and kill her. She won't have time to get us all. I don't want to die. You try that on your own. I'm sitting next to Lucas. The smell is unbearable. Please help me. Save me, please. My parents are rich. Please save me. We're all in this together, moron. Calm down. We'll come up with a plan. We need to exchange the answers to the questions on the chat so we don't die. We're all gonna die anyways. Everybody sit still or you will die. You just have to sit there and pretend to take notes. It's divine punishment. It's because we're all sinners. Shut up. It's all your fault. You're a sinner too, so shut up. We're all fucked. Divine punishment. Maybe that's what this is all about. A loud vomit echoes around the room. The girl sitting next to Lucas' corpse has finally cracked. I took a quick look at Evelyn, and she continues her lecture without caring about the sickening noise. And all of those concepts brings us back to the decision making process that you should already be familiar with. Were you the one who was afraid you'll die if you throw up? She spared you. Maybe she can kill randomly. She's a witch. She would kill anyone. I don't know. I mean, you know that Lucas was a bit. Lucas was my friend. He was a huge asshole who abused girls. That's pure bullshit. This story, is it true? He's a sinner. Repent and you will all die. I heard about this. Of course it's true. I know one of his victims. I heard he always uses the same method. He'd pick up a shy girl. She comes to his room and but that doesn't necessarily imply that she didn't agree. I know a girl who didn't. He's a worse trash. He did several victims in this university. This is no news. Shut up. If that's true, they would have told the cops. No, that's why he picked shy, lonely girls. It's much harder for them to go to the police, besides the unbearable to even tell anyone about the details. I also know the girl who was abused by Lucas. All the girls in our year knew he was super dangerous. So true. That's why most of the victims are from your years. Lucas maybe had been an asshole, but how does this help us in a way? The witch is going to kill us all, and you're just starting to asking questions again very soon? She is going to start asking questions very soon. Yeah, that witch is going to kill us all. She killed Matt. I know Matt. He wasn't so much of a saint either. Don't you dare say that Matt deserved to die. Matt was abusing girls. I know him for years. He had never do that. I don't think he did that kind of thing, but I heard about the messed up story of him. He had one night stand with a girl who got pregnant, and he had her have an abortion. So what? Matt didn't do anything wrong. She made the decision to abort. Okay, I think I'm gonna stop here because I think you all will get bored anyways. This is gonna be. I didn't realize how long I've been on here. This is a lot of talking. Again, this is Midnight Witch. This is you could tell it's a story thing, more reading. I don't know if you guys are into this, but if you do want to know what happens and you want me to continue so you can watch this and how my ending starts, you got to hit the subscribe and like button. Leave a comment below telling me to continue or tell me how you did your ending if you played this game. You can purchase this on Steam. Also hit the notification bell letting you know when I post a new video. And you know, I'm also looking for some games. I do want you guys, if you can leave a comment below, I could play them for you. If you don't want to play horror games, scary games, fun games, whatever, just put it down there. Also or tell me how your day was. Okay, alright, I do appreciate you guys taking your time to watch this. This is Tattoo Girl 07. Thank you. Bye bye.